Hey there, gearheads and tone chasers. Today we're diving into the electrifying world of Soldano Amps, the American-made monsters that have been melting faces and capturing hearts for decades. Buckle up, because we're about to take a journey through time, tone, and pure rock and roll magic. Let's do it! Soldano amplifiers are the creation of Mike Soldano. Soldano had a long history of tinkering with electronics. Throughout high school, he customized his cars for performance. He also built a hot rod and was modding these cars for shows. When he was 21, he was listening to an Eric Clapton song and was so inspired by the guitar solo, he decided to learn guitar. His dad handed him a classical guitar, but he couldn't make it sound like Clapton. Mike had a talent for working with his hands, and as a result, he built a guitar during a woodshop class while at college in an industrial arts program. The word is, he aced his project. As he took up playing with bands around Seattle, his first guitar amp gave him trouble. He found himself repairing it on a regular basis, which ended up setting the groundwork for his quest for tone. The concept for Soldano amplifiers started with an experiment in amplifier design he called Mr. Science. This was the first prototype, nothing more than a piece of plywood with a bunch of components stuck to it. Soldano custom amplification was started in Los Angeles, California. Mike relocated there after a stint at a well-known guitar shop in San Francisco, modding and repairing their guitar amplifiers. He managed to sell an amp to Howard Leese of Heart in that first year. Things weren't easy. After a year of barely surviving, he headed back home to Seattle for Christmas in 1987. After the holiday, he was ready to call it quits and close the shop. He headed back to LA, only to find messages from Lou Reed of the Velvet Underground, Vivian Campbell of Def Leppard. They both wanted his amps. Then calls came from Eric Clapton and Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits. Within 6 months, there was a backlog of orders for Soldano amplifiers. Some of the biggest players in rock have become Soldano amplifier users. Players such as George Harrison, Jimmy Page, Peter Frampton, Eddie Van Halen, and Ted Nugent. Even newer rockers such as Brad Delson of Linkin Park and Dave Baksh of Sum 41. So you may be asking yourself, what makes Soldano amps special? Number one, unparalleled build quality. Each Soldano amp is handcrafted with meticulous attention to detail. Number two, versatility. From crystal clear cleans to face melting distortion, Soldano amps cover all tone spectrums. It's like having a Swiss Army knife for your tone. Number three, that signature Soldano sound. Imagine a sound so rich and thick you could spread it on toast. That's the Soldano special sauce, a blend of warmth, clarity, and aggression. Now let's take a look at the amp that put Soldano amplification on the map for professional guitar players around the world. The Soldano SLO100 tube amp has been around since 1987. Yet it remains one of the top-selling amps in the world. Perhaps it's because it's made by a company which prioritizes craftsmanship and quality and really gives a shit. The SLO100 head has two independent preamp channels driven by four 12 AX7 vacuum tubes. There's a clean crunch switch and another labeled bright to pull out those sweet highs. There's a 3-band equalizer and four 5881 tubes in the power amp, and an accompanying foot switch allows you to switch channels with the tap of your foot. And what does the SLO stand for? It stands for Super Lead Overdrive. Due to the popularity of the SLO100, Soldano decided to expand the product line to include amps, cabinets, and even pedals. The Astro 20 is powered by two 6V6 power tubes and four 12AX7 preamp tubes. There's 3 channels to select: clean, overdrive 1, or overdrive 2. This amp has tone ranges from crystal clean to slightly pushed crunchy tones with a single tone knob and a 3-way bright switch. Overdrive 1 and 2 include independent volume and gain with a shared 3-band EQ. The 30-watt Soldano Super Lead Overdrive, or the SLO30, is a smaller version of the SLO100, while still maintaining the rich character and tone of its big brother, the SLO100. The SLO Mini head is a solid-state 30-watt powerhouse with similar rich overdrive and crunch as its tube brothers. I want to thank everyone for joining me on this fascinating history of Soldano amplification. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. This has been Damon D. One world, one rock.